Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. I don't know if we're live yet or if it's coming through, but we'll find out in a second. I will hear the sweet tones, sweet docile tones of me, and there we go. It's coming through. Perfect. Perfect. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Misfit Corner Comics. This is the artist known as Andrew speaking. It's Saturday night, and we are live streaming. Let me turn down this background music just a little bit. We'll take a look and see who all's here. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Dave's here. Says hello, Drew. Welcome to the show, Dave. Manuel, of course, is here. Welcome, my friend. He says, good evening, my buddy Drew. Happy Saturday. Welcome from your vacation with your family. I hope you'd enjoyed it. I did. Dave says hello to Avery. We're still waiting for him. He'll be here. I literally sent out the invite to him and then hit go live. So I didn't even give him a chance to jump in. So Glass Bottle is here. Says hello, E&A. Welcome to the show. Manuel says hey to Dave. Andy's here. Welcome, Andy. Says, got there, I. Yes, we're glad you did. Terror's in the house. What's up, sir? That's a good guy right there. It's a good guy. He's got a weird infatuation with Weezer. But other than that, he's a good guy. I'm going to try very hard to keep up on the chat tonight and not get too far behind and tell you guys some stories about vacations and other such stuff. But let's catch up on the chat. Dave says hello to Manuel. Manuel says hi to Glass Bottle. Glass Bottle says, I thought I was alone. Laugh out loud. No. We're all here for you, my friend. We're all here. Jim's here. Hey, Jim. How's it going? Says, hey, all. San Viral says hi to Drew. Welcome. Glenn's here. Glenn says, good evening. That's right. Welcome, everybody. Andy says, I'm here. We're very glad. Very good. Manuel says, hey, Tara, good evening. Manuel says, hey to Avery. He's not here yet, or we're still waiting on him. He'll be here eventually. Darlene's in the house. Welcome to the show. Says hello to everybody. Manuel says hello to Darlene, and Manuel says hey to Jim. All right, we're caught up real quick. So, had a pretty good vacation. In reference to such stuff as the channel, got many scam calls. My mother-in-law was actually in the front seat with me. I did all the driving, and it took us 2 days to get here, and or 2 days to get to our destination. And she was in the front seat the second day, and was shocked at how many calls I got in a day. And I think, no, she was in the car the second half of the first day. The second day was Saturday. I still got calls on Saturday, but Friday, the first day we were driving, I had gotten 45 calls. And she was shocked that I tried to answer all of them. And I got some good ones. Mind you. Actually, the best calls that I got were on the drive back on Wednesday. The recordings that I released this morning from the Comcast scammers, that was Wednesday. And then I have a recording for their follow-up call on Thursday coming. That one was funny. So I hope you all enjoy that. I actually haven't made the video yet. I've got to do that this evening. But like I tell you guys, I've got lots and lots of recordings. So I've got plenty of content to make videos. So there won't be a problem. All right, let's see who else is here. Star Chaser's checking in, says hello to all. Welcome to the show. Pez is here. How's it going, my friend down under? Good day, everyone. Hope you're all well today. Not too bad. We have somebody here named Desmo. I'm new around here. Enjoy your content. Well, fantastic. Welcome to the show. Absolutely. Manuel says to Sam Viral, good evening. Rosemary's here. Hey, Rosemary says hi, all. Get the calls going. Ha ha ha. Yep. What's so funny is when I was driving, I try not to drag the calls out. I try to say stuff that'll get them to either hang up on me quickly or make the call quicker. And there were a lot of F-bombs that were done. My mother-in-law's like, boy, you talk rude to them. I said, well, sometimes I do. She thought that was funny. Darlene says, had to clean up the kitchen. Were messy. Well, I mean, come on. Boys are always messy. That's just the way it goes. Manuel says hello to Rosemary. Rosemary says hi to Manuel. Good to see you, my friend. Manuel says to Glenn, good evening. Glenn says, got a call this week from Amazon and transferred to the IRS because of fraud, then to the U.S. Marshal because a car on the border with money and drugs. Now that's funny. That's actually two different scams, and they combined them together. That's crazy. Now I did get a Amazon to Bank of America to the FTC call, which was actually really funny in the fact that when they transferred me to the Bank of America person, it was a lady. I swear I have no idea what she said to me. Either the volume was so low on her side that I could barely understand her, but she eventually said, hold on a second, I'm going to transfer you. And the next thing I know, I'm talking to the guy from the FTC, and I'm like, I know the scam. I know what they're doing. But literally, if I was playing along, I would have no idea what was going on. And I got to see if the recording came out good. If the recording came out good, I'll share that with you. But that's one that they are constantly trying. The Amazon to your bank, and then to the FTC, where they claim you've been your identity's been stolen. Now going from Amazon to the IRS, that's interesting. That's an interesting twist on that one. And then to the U.S. Marshals, that's usually when I get that call, it's the Social Security Administration calling about a car rented under your social, and then it goes to the U.S. Marshal or the Border and Customs. So that's an interesting twist on that one. I mean, sometimes they do get creative. 99% of the calls, the scam calls I get, are the same old scams that they keep trying over and over and over again. And even after I tell them I have a YouTube channel, even after I tell them I'm recording the calls, even after I tell them I will never give them my information, they still call and they still try the same scams. Every now and then that 1% pops up where it's something new, and that's always entertaining. And I get excited. I get really excited when I get a new scam, because I'm always interested to see what it is and what they're trying to do. And I know I got at least one or two new scam attempts. I got to go back through my recordings, because when I'm driving and I've just got my phone, the phone automatically records my calls. And if it's a good call, I will email it to myself and then save the recording so that I could go back to it if I need to. If it's just a hang up or whatever, I ignore it. And then when we stop at a rest stop, I just delete all the hang ups. So I have not gone through all the calls in my records, but I've got like 20 or so that I emailed to myself. I'm probably going to put together like a day in the life or a day of vacationing calls, because there were several of those. So love it. All right, let's see who else is here. Glass Bottle says, I got one scam call today. Of course, they hung up when they hear my voice. I get that a lot too. Sometimes I'll get it when I say my name, or when I give them a fake name, they'll hang up. I had two calls recently that shocked me. I've told you all before, if you Google my phone number, you will get my name, but you'll also find other names as well. I mean, I'm out there. I'm not. There's no anonymity in me at all. And I had a guy call me, claiming to be from Medicare, calling about my Medicare, and I said okay. And he says, they said, "What's your name?" And I said, "Well, who are you looking for?" And they went, "We're looking for Andrew." And I said, "Yes." And they go, "You're 49 years old," which I am. And they go, "You don't qualify for Medicare." Then I'm like, "Well, why the hell did you call me in the first place?" Click. So, for some reason they had my real name, but why they would have been calling in the first place, no idea. But we'll screw with them as long as they call and enjoy it and have fun. So, Manuel says, hey to Pez. Rosie's here. Hey, Rosie, how's it going? Says, good evening, everybody. Hugs X. Excellent. Manuel says, Rosie Cottage, good evening. I'm doing great this weekend. Fantastic. Pez says, good day to Manuel. Hope all is well, mate. Jim says, got a scam call this week. Someone was telling me my timeshare fees were going to increase. I asked them, how did you get my number? And I don't have any timeshares. That's interesting. We get calls regarding timeshares often, but my mother-in-law owns a timeshare, so it's normal. Usually they're calling, either they want to buy it, or they want to buy the time, or they want to help you get rid of your timeshare. And honestly, my mother-in-law enjoys her timeshares. She's been using them for many, many years, so she has no interest in getting rid of them. Now, once she has moved on from this mortal coil, we may consider getting rid of them. But as of right now, she enjoys them. But we get those calls all the time. I don't necessarily know if they're scammers or not. Most of the time, they're calling the home number. If they call my cell phone, which isn't connected to any of her timeshares, I know it's a scam. But if they call the home number, the rule is I have to behave on calls until I know it's a scam. And most of those calls that I get regarding timeshares, I simply tell them we're not interested, take our name off of your list, and they usually don't call back. Or I'll get a call back from another company because her number's out there somewhere. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, stay away. Honestly, anybody that's calling you, good chance it's a scam. What's actually funny, while I was on vacation driving, I got a call from a lady claiming to be from PayPal, and she knew my name and she knew my ID, my handle, and she was telling me about the app that I use at the store to take credit cards is going away and that I need to upgrade to a new one. And I said, great, sounds good. I knew at that point she was probably valid because she had enough of my information. She knew who she was talking to. And I said, listen, I'm driving right now. Can you send it via email? She said, no problem. And when I got home, had an email, PayPal, and it's all information that I had read before, just never followed up on. So I knew it was a valid call. I just went ahead and I wasn't going to reveal any of my personal information. She confirmed what I knew. And so I knew it wasn't a scam call, but as soon as she started talking and said she was from PayPal, I'm like, oh, I'm ready to go. Let's go. But then I realized it was a real call, which does happen. I do actually get valid calls from time to time. They are often few and far between. 99% of my calls are scams, but it's always fun to talk to a real person. Rosie says hi to Manuel, says, hope you're having a fab weekend. Darlene says, sometimes we only get a couple of calls a day, mostly hangups during the week. I get a lot of those. I think of the 45 calls I got on Friday, probably 15 of them I actually talked to a person and had a decent recording. Probably another 10 of them were either the person didn't talk very long or it was one of the automated ones, and I'm like, I'm not wasting time on it because all they're going to do is transfer me to a disconnected number. I'm not even going to talk to them. I'm not even going to play that game. And the rest were hang ups. So it happens. My mother-in-law was like, this is so annoying listening to you answer the phone. I said, yeah, I know. Honestly, is what I do all day long. I mean, beside working, actually working at a job, which was very nice. Well, my boss does not know, and this is just between you and me, right? You guys and me. I actually took the whole week off, but we came back Thursday. So I actually had all day yesterday off, no work, no nothing. And that was, oh my God, it was so wonderful. It was just wonderful. The wife slept in. I got some errands done in the morning. We went out to lunch, went and saw a movie, had an early dinner, watched some TV, relaxed. Oh, a day off. Oh my gosh, it was just so wonderful. I don't normally get those anymore. 5 days a week, I'm working my normal job. I have the YouTube channel at night. And then on the weekends, I have the store and the YouTube stuff. So I'm 7 days a week working. And it was so nice to have a day off. And technically I had a week off, but I spent 2 days driving, 2 days driving back and 3 days there. And during those 3 days, I was taking scam calls almost every day. So the job never stops. All right, let's see what else is going on here. Glass Bottle says it's a 3-in-1 scam call. Yes, they do that. I think they think we're gonna find it more believable if they tell us they're transferring us to another entity who's going to help us, that we feel like, okay, this has got to be a serious thing. So when it goes from Amazon to my bank to the FTC, or in your case, or in the case of the IRS and so forth, that they think maybe it adds more credibility to the call, which I don't understand at all, but okay, they think it does, so we'll go with it. Pez says good day to Rosie. Glass Bottle says hey to Pez. Rosie says hey to Pez. Manuel says hello Desmo. Good evening. Manuel says I still get emails from scammers. You know what's so funny, Manuel? I get emails, but they go into my junk folder and I barely ever look at them. You know what's so funny? Just the other day, we had talked previously about getting text messages, and I went in and on my phone I have in my text messages I have a folder, I guess, for spam or scam stuff, and I went in there and it was just loaded full of stuff that I never see because I never go in that folder. So I get a lot of them as well, but my number, as you guys know, my number is out there for everybody in the world to call and try to contact. So we love it. Pez says good day to Glass Bottle, hope you're all well today. Rosie says, please be careful, Manuel. They're sneaky with links, etc. in those emails. Oh, he knows better. Manuel's experienced in this. He's good, but a lot of people need to realize that that's one of the ways they try to get you, is they send out emails. I've gotten letters, texts. They try to get you and convince you that they're legitimate, and they're going to try to take advantage of you. So we got a new person here. Hey, Matthew Smith, Undercover, says, hello, sir. I hope you're doing well. I've been watching your videos for the past few days. Bear in mind, I only started watching yesterday. Okay. Any thoughts on touching your forbidden fruit? Aqua your son? What? Any thoughts on touching your forbidden fruit? I don't know exactly what that means. Matthew Smith, are you a scammer coming in trying to invade our chat? I don't know. If anybody has an idea what he's talking about, let me know. You guys know I'm not that bright. Glenn says, also got calls this week where they know my name and address. I've gotten calls where they know my name, but they don't know my address. They have a previous address from probably several years ago, which that apartment is publicly known, but we haven't lived there in years. They usually do not have this address where we're living now, unless it's a company that we've done business with before. So I'm usually safe in not worrying they know where we actually are. Not that I'm advertising where we are, but that type of thing. Glass Bottle says, I abuse scammers. That's why they record my voice. Very good. Sand Viral says, whenever some charity calls, I tell them I'll donate via snail mail, not via phone. Very good. And then you can just ignore it. Pez says, good day to Darlene. Rosie says, oh my gosh, Glenn, I didn't like that. They had your home address. You guys would be surprised at what information can be found out about you out there. Google has a lot of information on you. You may not realize it, and they will sell it in order for advertisers, and who knows who else gets a hold of that stuff. So, I mean, I have a mailbox at a UPS store for my business, because the physical location of my store, because it's inside of a flea market, you can't deliver mail to that location. So I have that address. It's not a PO box, but it looks like an apartment, because it's a UPS store. Whenever I'm in doubt or weary, I'll give them that address. I mean, I could care less, but that I usually don't get stuff there. But Yeah, it's a backup address. Everybody should have a backup address somewhere, like a backup email. Have a backup physical address. I've always wondered how much mail the Scholzbacher Center downtown gets that is either addressed to Timothy, Eugene, Herschel, Carl, or myself. Because I've been giving that address out for years. So bad, so bad. Manuel says, My Lady Rosie's cottage. I'm very careful. I delete and trash. Very good, very good. Darlene says, I get a lot of scam emails, mostly medical advice. Really? Yep, I'm going to take the advice instead of my doctor's. Laugh out loud. Yeah. They really think we're dumb. They do. They really think people out there are dumb. And granted, there are some people that are. I hope they learn or they get educated or they hear this information and they prepare better. But they really think all Americans are stupid. They think all Americans have money and can spend it on junk, because they think that if they take advantage of you and steal your money, that, you know what, it's okay. You're rich. You've got money growing in the backyard. It's not a big deal. Horrible people. Rosie says, I'm glad, Manuel. Well done. Glass Bottle says, if they call you out of the blue, it's a scam. In most cases. Jim says, Drew and all viewers, beware of a new Amazon scams. Service agents are telling them that they need to reach out to share your banking information as there's an issue with your membership. Yeah, that's red flags left and right. Amazon calling and wanting to get your information or verify your information. I'm fairly certain that most emails that Amazon sends out tells people or reminds people, any valid emails will tell you they will not ask you for your personal information, especially your banking information. So be very, very careful. Star Chaser says, pay up, pal. That's very good. I've never actually had any issues with PayPal. I've been using them for years. I used to use them with my eBay account as accepting and paying bills, and I use it to accept cards at the store. I have a little card reader, and I use the PayPal app, the PayPal Here app on my phone. Never had an issue with it. But PayPal is kind of shifting their payment processing, like business payment processing, to, it's called Zettle. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it. I've seen they send me the information all the time, and I normally just ignore it. But because they're discontinuing the PayPal Here, which is the app they use, they're trying to push everybody to this Zettle. So I'll have to look into it. I'll actually have to get a Zettle reader and so forth. But you know, it's like, make it harder on business people, But that's okay. Darlene says, years ago we stayed in a timeshare my husband's my parents' husband's parents had. Nice place. Yeah, my in-laws got a timeshare in like Daytona in the summer, or actually it's around spring break. They've used it for many, many years and they love it. And then they had one in the Ozarks, which is close to his family. And then she had a couple others that she has point-wise. It's one of the scams they do. I mean, timeshares is a real thing, but they really cost a lot of money and they take advantage of people. I don't encourage people to get them, but if you are a person who likes to vacation a lot and that is your idea of a good deal, feel free. I would never do it. I would rather spend that money and go on a cruise, or go to New York and visit the friends and stay with them and not stay in a timeshare. But the one in Daytona that she has is pretty fantastic, and the kids have been enjoying it ever since they were small, and they've had it well. I mean, my son is getting ready to turn 30, and he's been going on the summer trip since he was a baby. So they've had it many, many years and have enjoyed it thoroughly. So it's let's see. Manuel says, hey, Star Chaser, good evening. Welcome. Pez says, g'day to Star Chaser. Glenn says, have you gotten the call from the Autistic Help Center where a robot, Diana, Ask all the questions for a donation. Someone has to be listening to for the answers. Oh yeah, I'm sure they do. There's several calls that I get where it's the robot voice, and I know somebody's there because it used to be you could trick the voice into repeating stuff over and over and over again just by asking the same question and having it repeat over and over again. But there are times when I know there's somebody listening because I'll say something, and I had one. I'm not sure if I actually made it into a video or not, where I said something and whoever was controlling the voice said yes. And then I asked again, they go, yes. And they just kept pressing yes, yes. They knew they were screwing with me, or I was screwing with them. And it was fun. But there's usually somebody listening in. Glass Bottle says Norton outsourced tech support to scam call centers, and they have your info. I hate to say it, but I could believe it. I could believe it. Glass Bottle says to India. Yeah, I could believe it. Darlene says hi to Pez. Roy Salty 71 says just sub from the Netherlands. Well, welcome to the show. Thank you so much. I hope you're enjoying the channel. Cross Comics is here. Hey Rick, how's it going? I still have your Blu-ray sitting next to me. One of these days I'll put them in a box and actually put them in the mail. Rick, you know how to reach me. Make sure I have your correct address. I don't think it's changed recently, but just make sure, and I will work on getting that out to you. I promise. I know it's a late birthday present, but it's coming. Rosie says hello to Roy Salty 71. Rosie says hey to Cross. Manuel says hey to Roy. Smidgen 13 is here, says you deserved it. Well, thank you. Pez says good day to Roy. Jim says continue the Amazon scam. The scammers even threaten the customers that their accounts won't be reinstated and go to the app to update their membership. I find it funny when the scammers threaten people. Like I've had Medicare scammers saying, well, we're disconnecting your Medicare number. Or I've had Social Security scammers say, we're going to disconnect your Social Security. None of that crap is happening. None of them have the ability to do that, but they like to tell people that. They like to scare people with that stuff. We're going to disconnect your account. We're going to, we're going to close out your account and you'll never be able to use it again. These people have no power whatsoever. They like to threaten because that's all they can do, Manuel says, hey to Cross. Good evening and happy Saturday. Penny's here. Hey, Penny. Says, no Avery tonight. Well, you know what? I did just send him an invite. Let me send him another one just to make sure. I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, he keeps weird hours sometimes. So there's a good chance he might be sound asleep right now. But just in case, I will send him another invite. But one of the great things that happened on this trip, because of the way we came home through Georgia, we actually got to go visit him. Got to stop by and say hi to his mom and him, and got to spend a little time with them. So it's good to see him. But he lives far enough away that it's a trip. It's a day trip. But I talk to him all the time, so it's a good thing. The internet and YouTube and Streamlabs and all these applications that allow you to video chat or chat online with your family and friends is a wonderful, wonderful thing. It's a wonderful invention. I mean, just being here tonight talking to you guys is fantastic. Especially talking to people all over the country and all over the world, Australia and the Netherlands and where Rosie's at. I'm blanking, but I know it's great to have you guys here, and I thoroughly appreciate it. Matter of fact, Rosie says, I'm so glad you got time to yourself, Drew, even though if only a wee while. Well, I'll tell you guys what we did. Her timeshare is from Saturday to Saturday. So we left on Friday, we got there on Saturday, and then we spent the whole week there. And we were supposed to spend the whole week there. And if we left on Saturday, it would have meant driving back and being home on Sunday, which meant I would have had to close my store on the weekend 2 weekends in a row. And I hate having to do that. So we left on Friday. We got there on Saturday. We spent all day Sunday, all day Monday, all day Tuesday at the timeshare. And then on Wednesday, the wife and I left. Now my sister-in-law and her husband were there, so they said they would give my mother-in-law the drive back. So we left on Wednesday, got home Thursday, and had all day Friday to ourselves. That was the best vacation day. That was all that work for one day. It was worth it. Plus, my wife said that in all the different places we have to hit, you have to get a hotel on the way up, and you have to get a hotel on the way down, and you've got the timeshare and the rooms there. The entire time, I don't know if it's because the beds are older and more hard and rough, and maybe rough's not the word. They're not like super comfortable like our bed is. My wife said I didn't snore at all the entire vacation, which was great. But I don't think I snore at all. She says I snore all the time. I have no idea what she's talking about. I have never woken myself up and heard myself snore. So, yeah, I know. Crazy, right? Let's see. Cross says, evening to Manuel. Roy says, thanks, guys. Nice welcome. Absolutely. Smidgen says, have you heard the 2 call centers that were shut down in India? I did read something about that. I know there were comments about it. I haven't had a chance to look into it. I know there's either video or news stuff out there about it. So I'm definitely going to look into it because it's always a wonderful thing when it happens. But yeah, I'm going to have to look into that because I hate to say it. There's a really good chance that that's nothing more than a publicity stunt, by the Indian government, the Indian magistrate saying, look, we're doing something about these scammers. And the number of calls I've been getting lately, they're not doing anything. Not really. I missed one. Pez says, good day, Cross Comics. Glenn says, Rosie, just Google my name and you can find my address. Try your own name. UPS delivered a big package to my neighbor's delivery across the street. I Googled his house number and it gave me the name and phone number. Oh, wow. You'd be amazed at what Google has on everybody. Smidgen says, oops, hit the send button too soon. Oh, that's all right, man. That's all right. Rosie says, oh my gosh, that's scary, Glenn. Darlene says, you should have just had a recording. Sorry, I'm unavailable to take your scam calls. Please call back when I get back home. I had one. I got to go back and listen to it where the guy started one scam call and he switched to something else, like right in the middle. And I'm like, dude, you're mixing up your scams. I could hear him chuckling because he did. And then he hung up on me. I gotta go. What was it? It was like it started out as home security, and then switched to Medicare or something like off the wall, completely different, impossible to confuse and get screwed up on. But he did it anyway, and I love it when they do that. Emmanuel says hi to Smidgen. Good evening. Rosie says to Darlene, laugh out loud, virtual hugs. Cross says, hey, Andrew, check out Melvin 3 on Fund My Comic. I did the inking on it. Oh, fantastic. I'll definitely check it out. Very good, very good. Good job, man. Pez says, good day to Smidgen. Glass Bottle says, why have an Incogni and Aurora to get your stuff removed online searches? Oh, okay. I remember Aura. Is it Aura or I know I'm saying I'm wrong, but those are applications that can help remove your information from online searches. Okay, that's interesting. Thanks, Glass Bottle. I appreciate that. Manuel says hand pink waving, hand pink waving, hand pink waving. Glass Bottle says scammers don't know my Gmail addy. Well, that's good. Smidgen says you can request your data be removed from those people finder websites. You have to do it, but it can show up again in 90 days. Really? I know there was one website that in one of these live streams that somebody shared with us. I forget which, Know Me or something. I forgot what it was, but I actually did a search on my phone number and my wife's phone number and was shocked at all the different names and addresses that were showing up. Most of them are the ones we've either made up, like Carl Walters. Carl Walters is not one that I made up, but it's one that the scammers called and said, we're trying to reach Carl Walters. And I, of course, said, yeah, that's me. Sure, that's me. But his name and number, Herschel, Eugene, Timothy, they're all listed under our numbers, plus our names. Our names are also listed there. So I think we're playing a very interesting. We're playing a game. Whether it's interesting or not, it's only interesting to me. We're playing a game with scammers. Which one of these people is real? Ha ha ha. See if you can figure it out. That's why I always find it funny. I've had a couple of calls, and I think I've made videos of some of these where they'll ask for somebody, or no, they'll ask me my name, and I'll give them one of my fake names, and they says, well, we're trying to reach this person. And I said, well, that's somebody else in the home. I can go get them if you need to. And they'll be like accusing me of lying. You're lying. You're making this up. It's like, that's the dumbest. Granted, I am making it up, but how would you, lie about that? Well, they are very quick to call people liars, which I find entertaining as all get out. Darlene says, good to know, Glass Bottle and Smidgen. Thank you. Sorry. Rosie sends smiley faces and hands to Manuel. Manuel says, hey, Drew, where's Avery, my buddy? I'm not sure where he is. If I can catch up on the chat, maybe I'll text him real quick just to see. I do know for a fact, we were on a live stream last night talking, and he had been waiting for some new pages of art to be sent to him so that he could work on the inking. He's inking, doing digital inks on a comic property right now, and I know he got some of the pages just recently. So he has a tendency to work through the night on that stuff. So if I contact him and he says, man, I was dead asleep, I would not be surprised. He keeps weird hours, but that's artists. Honestly, that's art. Some artists do that. They can work better through the evening into the early hours because it's very quiet and your phone's not ringing off the hook. You're not getting emails. You can actually concentrate on what you're doing. And I know he has in the past worked through the night early into the morning and then crashed and slept all day. So if he's asleep right now, it would not surprise me. So I've sent him 2 invites. If he gets them, great. If he does, he knows when I do this. So unless he's I'm talking about him and here he is. I'm talking about you and you join.
Well, I lost track of time.
Oh, okay. Well, I was telling them that you had gotten some pages that you were expecting.
Yeah.
And if you were working through the night and working on them, you might be sleeping right now.
I did end up sleeping most of the day because of a sinus headache and the medicine I took. But no, I was playing this game called Grounded with a friend of mine.
Yeah.
And I just lost track of time.
Okay.
It's a very fun game where you're like a little kid shrunk down in the backyard, like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and you're making armor out of bugs and like building forts out of grass and mushrooms and stuff and fighting the bugs and like it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun, and I lost track of time.
Okay, well that's all right. Well, there were a lot of people concerned. They missed you.
I'm fine, everybody. I got distracted and lost track of time.
I cannot believe that 8 o'clock on Saturday night is the only thing on your mind.
No, sorry. I know
It's probably number 6, maybe 7 on the list of important things in his life.
No, it was a priority. It's just I was playing a game with another friend of mine and lost track of time.
It's okay. It's acceptable. I knew whatever it was more important, and you were busy.
It wasn't. It's just fun.
If you told me you were sound asleep, I'd say that's more important.
No, I've slept plenty today. Oh boy.
Okay.
Woke up, cooked some steaks for dinner with some salad, and started playing games with my buddy. And then my mom was like, "Hey, you're not streaming?" I'm like, "Wait." I looked at the clock as I said,
It's pretty sad when she knows the schedule.
Yes. Well, she knows on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturdays, I'm usually streaming on someone's channel.
Right. You got to start doing your own streams, you know?
Yeah, eventually I'll get back
I
to
know.
it.
I know.
Dillard wants me to keep coming by, and I was like, all right, man. So
Well,
I got
Diller's good people, so
yes, he is.
yeah. All right, let me catch up on the chat real quick. There's probably a couple more
Okay.
people wanting to check on you. Sandviral says, if any scammers call and give them my home address from 50 years ago. Now that's good. Now the address I give them, I've told you guys before, the address I give them always is the address for the large homeless shelter downtown, and I've been giving it to them for a while now. Somebody in my comments suggested that. They also suggested giving them the jail or the police station, and I thought the homeless shelter was a little bit better. I don't know if they'd come after me for that, but if somebody started sending a whole bunch of mail in my name to the prison, I might get a visit from somebody, you know? So let's not do that.
In a prison sort of way, is it?
Well, I don't know. Cops
know.
might say, hey, why are we getting your mail, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Rosie says, 2 of the streets we've lived on over the years have been demolished and don't exist anymore. That's a great idea. You know, I actually thought about looking into that, like checking out the news, and when they report a home caught on fire and it's a total loss, my thought was use that address. That would be great. Use that address. The one place I was thinking about using, do you remember the restaurant European Street?
Yeah. I used to love the sandwiches there.
The one that was closest to DA.
Mm-hmm.
Totally gone, bulldozed down to nothing.
Wow.
And but there's one down at the beach, and
there was one in San Marco. That's the one I went to the most.
Yeah. Now the one down near DA, the closest one to DA, that's been leveled. So that'd be a good address to use.
Wait, the one in San Marco was close to DA. Because San Marco's not far from downstairs.
No. The one I'm talking about is the one that's on Beach Boulevard.
Okay.
Near University.
Okay.
Like if you were at it, you just go one way. You get to between your old place, University, and then it's between there and
Okay.
Yeah. Nigella says, good evening. Welcome, Nigella. Welcome to the show. Rosie says hi. Glenn says, sold my timeshare 25 years ago. Still get letters and phone calls. Yeah, I could believe that. Yeah, we were talking timeshares earlier.
Yeah, I still get I got a phone call the other day trying to buy my house. It's like I sold that house a couple of years ago. Go look on Zillow.
That's right.
It's selling for
lots and lots. Actually, didn't you say somebody bought it? Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What it sold for is like, whoa. I mean, I couldn't have gotten that much for it, even if I had stayed, because I would have had to have dumped the money into it, then dumped into it.
Yeah, probably had to do several $1,000s worth of renovations.
Tens of thousands.
Yeah.
Probably close to 50 to 60, maybe a little bit more, $1,000 worth of renovations.
Yeah,
I didn't have it.
No, I understand.
And I made a good profit over what I paid for the house.
Yep. That was the important part.
And considering how little I had left on the mortgage.
Right. No, you got out at a good time, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I did all right.
Yep. Manuel says, thank you so much, my lady friend Rosie. Glass Bottle says, Smidgen, yes, you are right. And the funny thing is, when Incogni and Aurora will pester the scammer brokers until they comply, I think they use legal action against them. Really?
Ooh, cool.
Nigella says they listen. Pez says, good day to Nigella. Manuel says, hey to Nigella, happy Saturday. Nigella says they listen. Yep. We were talking about the robocalls and how people do listen in on those and respond.
Yes.
That's what she's referring to. Darlene says Avery got lost in cyberspace.
Yeah.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Roy says, thanks for having me. No problem. Welcome to the show. I hope you enjoyed it and come back. We'll be here. Actually, I was just getting ready to say we're going to be here every Saturday, but we have another trip scheduled for the weekend of August 19th, that Saturday. I will not be able to live stream because I'll be in a foreign country.
Oh, okay. That's
so
right
we-
after. That's right after Web3 Comic Con.
Yes, I know. It's that weekend.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I think he's starting it like on the 17th. We literally leave on the 16th.
Have you been seeing all the photos from Tampa Comic Con?
No, I haven't. Why? What's going on there?
Cecil, Mandy, a bunch of them are there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that might have been somebody. One of my regulars was telling me that there was a con in Tampa this past weekend, and he had considered it, but there wasn't enough big names that he wanted to see, so he was skipping it.
Yeah.
Because I was asking if there'd any shows coming up that looked interesting, and damn, that might have been fun.
Tampa might have been a good one to go because Shane,
Mm-hmm.
the Diaz brothers, who I work for on Lost Pages, Mandy, Cecil is there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
nobody here knows any of those names.
Oh yeah, but you know them.
Yeah, I know.
You know who they are.
That could be cool.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, let me catch up on the chat. See what
Narwhal.
else is going. Narwhal was there. Okay.
Yeah.
Pez says good day to Darlene. Cross says, "Where's Avery? Where's Avery is promoting a comic he is on." The Canadian speak here is very confusing, but I think I know what he's trying to say. Rosie says to Roy, would be lovely if you joined our wee group, Roy. We're a friendly wee bunch. That's right. Synthwave Soundscape says, have you ever thought of trying to speak complete gibberish during a scam call? For example, we have found a change, blah, 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 and you reply with, well, I have to walk my goldfish last Sunday. I have had conversations with scammers where I literally could not understand what they were saying. And I will just start saying blah, 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 stuff like that in order just to piss them off. Because, like, this is what you sound like to me. So I've done that before. But I also speak scammerese, which is the fact that I've heard the scripts so many times that even if I don't understand the words that they're saying, I know what they're saying. And I always find it funny when I'll get comments on one of my videos where somebody says, I have no idea what they were saying to you, but you understood. I said, that's because I've heard it so many times. I'm very fluent in scammerese.
Yeah, you've heard it all.
I've heard it all. Yeah. Well, most of it.
Sometimes I just answer the phone and go beep, boop, boop, beep,
beep, boop, boop, boop. Smidgen says, watched a Pleasant Green, a scam baiter video today about airplane ticket scam. It's worth watching since it's travel season. Okay. We'll check that out. Rosie says, Penny, must have missed your arrival earlier. Hello and hugs. Very good. Manuel says, hey to Penny. Rosie says to Cynthia Ware, love it, laugh out loud. And Sweden, he says, okay. Rosie says to Smidgen, always great info on Pleasant Green's videos. It's a great account to follow. Very good. Penny says, hello to you all, thank you. Manuel says, hello to Synthware, happy Saturday. Roy says to Rosie's, can you guide me? How does that work? Okay, I'm not sure what he's talking about, but Smidgen says, glass bottle. My security software gives me reports every 99 days. Okay. Rosie says, waves from Scotland. Glass bottle says, photo op scam news. Photo op scam news. Okay. Is that a channel? I'm assuming so. Rosie says to Roy, you've done it already just by being here, Roy. We're all here every week, and it's such a friendly, lovely group of people. You're so welcome. Avery, remind me before we leave. We got somebody new in here.
Ooh, cool.
And they wrote a comment that I read, and the very end of it, I wasn't sure if they were maybe a scammer trying to get me to say something, because I didn't understand what the hell they were trying to get me to say.
Oh.
So I figured I would share it with somebody with a devious mind who could tell me, yeah, that was definitely something devious that they were trying to slip by you.
Okay.
You weren't here to help catch it.
Sorry.
Smidgen says, this time an Indian congressman was arrested too, so for basically being a kingpin in the racket. Holy crap. Yeah, I've definitely got to check it out now. That's interesting. Manuela says, yes, is the video Jim Browning. I watched YouTube yesterday. Okay. Roy says to Rosie's, okay, I thought the link or something, my bad. No problem. No problem. Penny says, I do think Scammer Payback had something to do with the call center getting caught. I hope it's true. That's awesome. Pez says, Manuel, I see the same one yesterday, mate. Okay. And he says, yes, I watched Scammer Payback today on YouTube. Rosie says to Smidgen, no, that would be like one of the MPs being arrested. I'm sure there must have been a time when we had a more honest world. Doors were never locked when I was a child. Scammer Payback Pierogi is really good too, Manuel. All right. We're listing out some good scammers on YouTube. So that's the scam baiters on YouTube. That's awesome. Smidgen says, I also have a long list of people attached as relatives and other addresses to my name that I'm trying to get removed. My mother-in-law was telling me a story that I didn't know anything about. My father-in-law, his name, for some reason, was similar to two other people, one of them who also lived here in Jacksonville, and all three of them, their information in the credit bureaus all got mixed together. So all three of their social security numbers, all three of their addresses, all three of their wives' names and relatives' names and all got combined together into one account. And my mother-in-law was responsible. She had to reach out to the other people to say, hey, you all have to contact the credit bureaus and get this untangled. And she said it was a chore, but they ended up getting it done. But it was simply because of their names were similar.
Oh, wow.
And it's crazy how they mix stuff like that up. Like my father and I, our names are not the same. Well, actually, no, that's not true. My middle name is his first name. And of course, we have the same last name. But our names, our social security numbers, our date of birth, they're completely different. But his information was being reported on my credit bureau as well.
That's
at
weird.
one point in time. So credit bureaus are notoriously
For getting things wrong.
for getting things messed up. Yes. And it's not always easy to get it fixed, but you can do it. So Pez says, yes, SP is good. Rosie says, Roy, no, my fault. No problem. Darlene says, I've seen a couple of Indian call centers raided and the people arrested. The Trilogy Media Scam Baiters channel. Okay, I'll definitely check that out as well. I know there had been some news. There were comments on some of my channels about the incident. I haven't had a chance to look into it. But call centers got raided. People got arrested. Always a good thing. Yeah, but it's like picking off an ant and then having a whole ant bed full of people. There's still lots more out there.
Yeah.
You know? Glass Bottle says, what gets me is these scammers scam so many countries and governments from these countries will crack down on India or else. It's an industry over there. In Pakistan, in India, and other countries, it is a thriving industry. And I'm fairly certain they probably pay off the proper authorities and the proper police and so forth. And that's one of the reasons why they still do stuff. And our government could do something about it, but they're not going to. Our government, somebody was telling me that there was some scam call center that was advertising on like YouTube and Facebook and so forth. YouTube and Facebook are just making money. Whether or not it's a valid thing or a scam, that doesn't matter to them. You know, it's all about making money. They're not going to stop making money because somebody's ripping people off, you know?
No, but they will stop making money if you have the wrong ideology. They'll kick you off.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, but you're such a small percentage of the population, nobody really cares. So. Penny says, anyone in chat watch Kitboga? Yes, of course. Kitboga is probably one of the well-known best scammer, hacker people out there. So very entertaining and always good to watch. So Smidgen says, at all the regulars here and everyone, hello, pink hand waving. Thank you very much. Jim says to Manuela, I watch Scammer Payback video all the time besides Drew's videos. Okay, well, thank you. Darlene says, yes, Kitboga is good. Manuel says, I watched Kit Boga today. It's a good video. Smidgen says, same here to Jim. Glenn says, Avery, you're late. 10 demerits. He's probably still more popular than I am, especially amongst my children. Which is... Manuel says, hey there, late tonight, Avery. That's all right. He had good excuses. He was playing with another friend of his, so he's allowed.
I was playing video games and lost track of time.
Rosie says, Kit Boga is fab, Penny. Some of his calls go on for hours. Literally, he'll carry on a call for 5, 6, 7 hours. Don't know how he has the patience to keep them busy that long. His characters are great, too. Yeah, I think the longest I've ever kept a scammer on the phone, I know I had one call that went almost an hour, and I ended up cutting it into 2 videos. But most of my videos are really short because I'm not really good about playing along. I try very hard, as you guys know, but sometimes they lose patience very quickly. So just trying to get them waste as much time as possible, you know. Jim says, I also watch Kit Boga. Manuel says, I watch Drew videos all the time. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Pez says, yes, Kit Boga is good too. I like Takeout, but he's not been on. Yeah, some of the scam baiters, they don't do regular posts. They post from time to time. I'm committed to a video and a short a day. Now, it's possible I may stop the short part, the shorts, just simply because, I mean, I get views on them, but I don't know how many more people I'm reaching with those. I might have to change up what I do with them, because those are something that you can play around with. Videos are videos, you know. I sometimes will try to add something to them, but the majority of them is, here's the recording, this is what's happening, check it out and be entertained. That's probably not going to change, but my commitment is at least one of those a day, you know. And I've got enough back material and enough regular calls that I can do that. So for as long as I'm able to make videos, you guys will keep getting them from me. So Smidgen says, Manuel, I started my days with coffee and Drew. Laugh out loud. Well, thank you. Rosie says, Drew works harder than anybody. New videos every day, a weekly chat and shorts every day as well. Thank you, Drew, for a lot of hard work. For a lot of work, not a lot of hard work. It's not really that hard, but I appreciate it. Well, what's so funny, what's really sad is in preparation for this trip, I was knocking out 2 or 3 videos a night in order to have videos scheduled. And I started about a week and a half before the vacation. So I had videos going up until the vacation and then covering the entire vacation.
Yeah.
And when we got back on Thursday night, we were relaxing. And then Friday, I said to my wife after we went to the movie and we did our normal stuff, I said, I've got to make a video for tomorrow. And she goes, wait a minute, didn't you have videos to cover the entire vacation plus? And I said, yeah, but I knew we were coming back on Thursday. So I've got to make a video. The bottom line is I got to make a video tonight for tomorrow. But I already know which one I'm going to do. So, you know, that means I don't have to go searching through them. But commitment is my middle name.
Oh.
Commitment. It's not finishing, Avery. It's not finishing anything. It's commitment.
Yes. Well, that's how you eventually finish them. You finished Hero, book 1 and 2.
Yeah, I did. But
you keep going back to redraw.
I know. I had this conversation with a customer today.
I'm charging you double to recolor anything.
I know.
I'm kidding. Well,
Roy says to Manuel, I really laughed. I really laughed with Kit Boga context sounding like my grandmother. Yeah, I looked into getting one of those voice changer things. It may happen eventually. It just hasn't happened yet. I haven't put the time and effort into it. I just talk to the people. Pez says, good day to Jim. Smidgen says, Manuel, so sorry I misspelled your name. That's all right. We between spelling things wrong and saying things wrong, it's the universal language of this channel, right? Jim says, good day to Pez. Manuel says, laugh out loud, Smidgen. I'm drinking coffee in the morning. Penny says, yes, I agree with Rosie. Manuel says, yes, I laughed Kitboga like older grandma. Pez says, coffee and cigarettes is good in the morning. I skip both those things.
I do miss cigarettes sometimes.
Yeah, well, they don't miss you. You don't need them. Roy sends
I
smiley faces.
I don't miss the way they smell after.
Yeah.
But the taste when you're smoking, sometimes I really.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'll have to take your word for it. Rosie says, Manuel, the grandma voice he uses, fab. Manuel says, hey, don't worry, it's okay, Smidgen. Manuel says, yes, he's very funny. Darlene says, we used to have a post office box for years. We switched mails to the house after the boys graduated college. Well, I was saying have a P.O. box or one of those as like a backup address. So if you want to give somebody an address where you don't want them to, you want to get the mail, but you don't want them to know where you live. So might be helpful. Smidgen says, thanks to Manuel. Manuel says, you're welcome. Papa Smurf's here. Hey, Papa Smurf. Ron, how's it going? Says hello. Manuel says, hey, Papa Smurf. Good evening. Roy says, I think Jim Browning is the guru. Very cool. Pez says, g'day to Papa Smurf. Papa Smurf says, I asked a female caller if she was smoking ganja. She busted out laughing. That'd be funny. I wonder if they some of that those words are known by them, because there's some words that throw them off. Hell, Timothy throws them off from time to time. So
Timothy.
Yeah. Rosie says, yes, Drew, that comment was not right. Oh, okay. She's talking about the one I was telling you about. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Papa Smurf says, well, one of the things I find funny, Papa Smurf says hello to Pez. One of the things I find funny is they're going to come into the channel, they're going to leave a comment, and then they bounce, and they don't stick around. I mean, the guy could have written 5 more comments since then, and I would have probably read all of them until Avery would have said, hey, Drew, don't read that. That's not good.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't maybe they get a cheap thrill doing that on a live stream. Maybe that's it. I mean,
some people, they're just trying to get you to say something stupid that can get you in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, well. I don't know if it'll get me in trouble or not. It didn't make any sense to me. Smidgen says to Penny, SP was definitely involved. Papa Smurf says, Pez, auto carrot messing with me. Sorry, Pez. Auto correct. Pez says, all good, Papa Smurf. Rosie says, Papa Smurf, hello. Hope you're having a great weekend. Smidgen says, what a mess for your mother-in-law. Well, she is a mess. Oh, I got to tell you guys a funny story. So on the drive up, at one point, I'm driving and she's sitting next to me and my wife's in the back seat. We were going someplace to stop. I think we were actually going to stop for dinner or whatnot, but we were pulling into a place. And she had this really big, thick Tom Clancy hardback book that she had in the front seat that she was reading. And all of a sudden, she's reaching over and she's shoving it in my seat behind my back. And she's I'm literally trying to drive, and she's shoving this book in my back. And it took me by surprise to the part, I'm like, what? And I'm like, I couldn't say anything. It's like having somebody pull out in front of you, and instead of honking your horn at them, you just try your best to avoid them.
Yeah.
I was just trying my best to figure out what the hell she was doing. I didn't say anything like, what the hell are you doing? And she's shoving it into my back. And I'm like, what? And then all of a sudden she takes her sweater and she reaches over and she starts putting her sweater behind my back. And at that point, I'm like, Sarah, Abu, what are you doing? And she looks over at me. She literally thought she was putting them behind the seat. She wasn't looking to see where she thought she was putting them in the back seat and didn't realize she was literally shoving them into my back. While I'm driving, I forgot to mention, while I'm driving and trying to navigate into a parking lot, it's like, what the hell? She literally didn't even look. And she was so embarrassed. She's like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize I was doing that to you. And I'm like, yeah, okay, it's cool. We're okay. Yeah. That was.
She could have made you wreck.
She could have done something even worse, But anyway, all right. Now, here's the best part. During that conversation with you, I put my hands on my glasses. Now I have a smudge on my glasses. I can't even read what's on the screen anymore because I can't see anything. So give me a quick second to wipe off my glasses.
Yeah, wipe off your face.
And
wipe off your eyeballs.
And then I'll finish reading the comments and we'll get caught up.
Okay.
And then we'll start wrapping up because we're already over. So, but that happens almost every time.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Where was I? Let's see. Rosie says Jim Browning is awesome. Roy says to Rosie, that's true. I've been watching his channel grow from the beginning. Very good. Very good. Papa Smurf says, I got a copy of the Wells Fargo bank email. They said I had $10 million left to her in will. They need all her info to give her the money. Oh, wow. That's an interesting one. I haven't seen that one. Papa Smurf says, yes, Rosie. Yes, it is. It is. I am. Smidgen says, Andrew, you're giving us the CNEAT. I don't know what he's trying to say. Sorry, not sure. Darlene says, I'd gotten a call for an eye appointment. I told her it wasn't my appointment, but the receptionist insisted it was. Another Darlene Gilbert showed up at the same time. Now that's funny. Yeah, I don't think, believe it or not, Avery, you might not believe this, but when I worked at my old job, there was another Andrew with the same last name as me.
Get out.
No lie. Actually, I want to say maybe his name was Michael, or maybe his middle name, and he went by Michael, but his first name was Andrew, because I'd gotten his emails before. He was an account specialist in Iowa, where my dad is, where his family is from.
Oh.
And he also worked for the same company. We didn't work in the same departments or division, but I had gotten his emails on at least 2 occasions. And I had to reach out to the person and said, hey, sorry, wrong Andrew. But yeah, said, if you're looking for me, I'm really easy to find because I'm probably the only one with my name in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm probably the only one with my name in the whole South because it's a kind of a unique name. I can't hide. Glenn says, Avery, there's a difference between an excuse and an alibi. Rosie says to Roy, it's fab seeing channels grow and Papa Smurf. Smidgen says, you give us be entertained videos so we can all also be aware of the types of scam. It works to edit them. Much appreciated. I do my best to try to make them entertaining. Glenn says, my Amazon IRS U.S. Marshal call got drug out for 90 minutes. Fantastic.
Whoa.
That's very good. See, you should have recorded it. Should have put it on YouTube. Rosie says, oh my gosh, Darlene, that is odd. I know they said everyone has a double somewhere, but someone else with the same name is a bit unnerving. The closest person I think to a double of me would probably be Todd. My wife thinks you're the double of Michael, so. Cross says, hey, Avery. Oh, gosh, how long ago was this?
What's up, Rick?
It was 8 minutes ago, so I'm not too far behind. Papa Smurf says, yes, it is, Rosie. It's important to let everyone know they're stealing money. Yes. Or trying to steal your identity as well. Rosie says, yes, exactly, Papa Smurf. Cross says, Avery, check out Melvin 3 on Fund My Comics. I did the inking on it, and he has a link here.
Okay. I'll give it a look, man.
Roy says to Rosie, that's so true. He has a new one, I thought, 2 days ago. Okay. Rosie says, could you edit the comment out, Drew, before it's uploaded, I mean? Do you mean from here, from the live stream? I don't think I could edit the comment. Oh, I know what she's saying. She's talking about the one that I read out loud. Yes, I can edit that once the video is done uploading, because while I'm doing the live stream, it's uploading. Once it's finished, I can go in and edit it. I can edit out that part. So obviously, whatever it was I said was bad, Avery, and I didn't know it. Smidgen says, sorry to say, I think that's weird. Comment early was probably a pedo. Forbidden fruit, aka your son. Well, see, that is probably what he said. But that's not what I read. That's not what he had wrote. But that's probably exactly what he meant to write. Forbidden fruit. Yeah, there you go. Papa Smurf says smiley's faces. Glenn says
Kind of
one scammer
degenerate.
has my address as a White House in D.C. I'm renting from Uncle Joe. Cross Comics goes laugh out loud. Rosie says to Roy, "Really, I missed that. I have to look tomorrow when I'm online. It's just about 2 a.m. here. Thank you." Papa Smurf says hi to Cross. Cross says, "Caught? I don't think so. You will never catch up. Quit talking Canadian. I can't understand it."
He doesn't think you'll catch up with the chat.
Yeah, I know what he's trying to say, but that's not what he said. Cross, talk American. Try. Your Canadian to English dictionary is broken. Papa Smurf says, laugh out loud to Cross. Papa Smurf says, awesome, 90 minutes. Roy says, friends, I don't want to leave you alone. It's after 3 o'clock Dutch time. You enjoy the stream and most all Misfit Corner scams. I'm grateful. Go and get them. Good luck. Thank you very much, Roy. Appreciate you coming by and visiting. Craig's here. Hey, Craig. DVR is the best. Call Flutter. Shut down the entire call center. Smidgen says, glad you joined us, to Roy. And Manuel says, Craig Brown, yes, DVR is a great scam baiter. All right, I caught up. I'm done. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody that came in this evening. Thank you guys so much for making Saturday one of my favorite days of the week. I especially like the fact that technically I can sleep in tomorrow a little bit. But I thank you all for coming in. I hope you all have a wonderful, fantastic week. Look forward to more scam calls coming every day. And join us next week at the same time, 8 o'clock Eastern time on Saturday. I hope you all stay safe. And remember, if you ever get calls like the ones I get, hang up on them or screw with them like I do. And if you do, record it and share it.
Screw and share.
That's right. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Have fantastic